Hi friends, welcome to the video. Today we are going to learn how to give checkmate with two bishops. But before that, I hope you guys are doing well. I want to share something personal about myself as you are all my friends and sharing with friends is the best thing to do. About myself, I'm into software industry, but also married with two children. Because of family and my professional responsibilities, I do not get much time to spend on chess. But I'm dead passionate about chess, so because of my passion, great difficulty, I find some time to keep in touch chess and also help my child by reading books and explaining him in a very simple yet detailed way. He has recently got rated and happy to share that with you. From the experience of making my child rated, what I understood is that to get right fundamentals, you have to go through books and there's no shortcut for it. But generally, children find it difficult to find time, and also many times the explanation in the books may not be understandable due to the complex nature of the topic. So I want to share with you guys the knowledge I gained from reading books, and definitely it would be very helpful in expanding your knowledge. So all I request you to please subscribe to the channel. Go a long way in keeping me motivated and keep posting my videos. Okay, now back to chess. In the video, I tried to explain all the different scenarios using different positions. So please do not skip any positions and watch till the end. Let us first discuss what is a plan. Contrary to single queen or single rook, which can give checkmate either on the edge or in the corner, the two bishops can only give checkmate in the corner. Let me repeat, the two bishops can only give checkmate in the corner. What are the steps that we need to follow to give the checkmate? Let us try to understand the plan. There are three steps involved in the plan. The first step is the two bishops and the king should come together and then limit the opponent king in a V-shaped area and then slowly push the king towards the edge. So this is the first step. Let me repeat. The first step is our two bishops and the king should come together, limit the king to a V-shaped area and slowly push the opponent king towards the edge. That is the first step. Once we push to the edge, the next step is we need to push the opponent king to the corner. And the third step is give the checkmate in the corner. So three steps. First pushing the king to the edge, then pushing it to the corner and checkmating in the corner. Okay, now that we have understood the plan, let us try to first understand what is the checkmating pattern you need to arrive at. Now please pause the video and find the checkmate. Yes, the move is f6. So let us try to understand what is happening here. The white king is controlling h7 square and light colored bishop is controlling the g8 square. And we have a dark colored bishop giving a checkmate along a1 h8 diagonal. So please memorize this pattern. So as always, the king similar to rook or queen checkmates, it is always at the knight's position. So remember this, this is a most common pattern you need to know. And then the king is checkmated along the diagonal. Okay, now that we have understood the pattern, let us try to see how do we give a checkmate. First step of the plan is basically we need to push the king to the edge. So as I said, to do that, what we need to do is we need to bring the two bishops together and then limit the opponent king to a V-shaped area. Let us do that first. Okay, if you analyze this position, the white pieces are occupying the squares. Okay, now with this, the only square that the black king can escape is basically the c3 square. Let us try to control that square. The move is bishop d2. Now with this move, what is happening is the black pieces are controlling the entire squares. Now the only place the black king should move is either back or to the e4 square. Let us say he moves to the e4 square. Now what is the square it can escape? The square f3. So we will control that square. Bishop e2. Now if you analyze this position, we have limited the opponent king to a V-shaped area. If you understand this method, you will appreciate or you will learn how to use the two bishops together. Okay, now either the king should go to left or back. So let us say he moves to the king d4. Now let us move the king forward. Now this is the first step. That means all the three pieces are brought together. Now let us try to push the king backward. Now apart from moving back, the only square for king is e4. So now please remember this pattern, how the two bishops will push the king backward. Bishop e3. Wonderful. Now the two bishops are controlling these squares, four squares. Now there is no way the king can move sideways, so it is forced to move back. Let us say it goes to d5. Now let us again now start pushing the bishops and king forward. bd3. Now again, if you look at this position, the king has no place for escaping from the v-shaped area. So again, let us say he moves forward, move the king. So if you see this pattern, basically we have a pattern where two bishops and kings come in a line. In the next step, with the help of the bishop, we are moving the king. Okay, now again let us repeat. Let us say he goes back. Now in this position, what is happening is, now here we cannot develop the two bishops, because if I develop this bishop, it is going to escape to c4. So whenever you find such a situation where the two bishops are limiting the king to a v-shaped area, but the bishops cannot move, at that time make a king move, kf4. Now he is forced to move backward. Now again go back to the same logic where you will start developing the bishops. He goes forward. Now again the two bishops and king formed a line. So this is a pattern you need to understand. So following the same pattern, let us try to push the king backward. Let us say he goes here. So what we need to understand here is, all the pieces are together, they never get separated, and they need to work together. So we achieved the first step. Now what is the next step? The next step is we need to push the king to the corner. So the question you need to put is, which corner should I move? So please select the corner which is nearer to our king. So for white, the nearest corner is h8. So the plan is to push the black king to that corner. Okay. Now what is the logic here? The logic is, right now we have c8 square which is controlled by the bishop, and then we have c7 square which is again controlled by light dark colored bishop. So that means it is not able to move to the left side, so it is forced to move to the right side. Let us say it goes. So now, so the next step is this, we need to slowly cover one square at this square, right? So we'll just say bishop c2, bishop c2. Now again he moves back. Now the next step is control this square, bishop d7. So by controlling one square at a time and not allowing him to come out of the edge, we are slowly pushing the king to the corner. In this position, it is possible that black king may try to escape through the h7 square. So what we'll do, we'll just move our king k g6. So now we'll remember, as per the checkmating pattern, the white king has reached its position. Now let us say the king can move k f8. Let us check bishop d6, bishop e6. bishop e5 check. So now you remember we have arrived at the pattern what we discussed, and then we have given the checkmate. So in this position, instead of moving to f8, let us say he moves to g8. What do you do? So we again follow the same thing, cover this square, then he will come to g8, then give the check with the light light colored bishop, and then he is forced to move back, and then bishop e5. So remember, the logic is basically you have to make sure that all the squares one at a time, and finally the king is pushed to the corner. In this position, if it is was black to move, the black king would have moved to king e8. However, it is the turn of the white to move. So what do you move? Just pause the video and try to identify the move. So here, the next step, what we need to do is we have to control the d8 square. But currently, we cannot do it because if we move the bishop to bishop c7, the king will capture. So in this condition, what we need to do is we'll try to make a move which is known as waiting move. Waiting move, we can call it as a no move or a dummy move, where we are not trying to do anything, just keeping the position as it is and then giving back the move to the opposition. So typically in such situations, the opponent will be in zugzwang and then he is forced to move. So for those who don't know what is a zugzwang, zugzwang basically it's one of the most common thing we always discuss in the end games. Zugzwang means basically I have all my pieces in a correct positions. If I am given an opportunity, I don't want to move anything. But in chess, you cannot skip the move. That means you have to move. So that means you make a move and then will result in some kind of disadvantage. So in this case, what we do is we'll make a simple waiting move, either this bishop or that bishop, without allowing the king to escape. So let us make one small waiting move. Bishop e7, bishop e5. So now the king is forced to move. Now you can start covering one square at a time. So again, you move, covering. So let us stop the king from escaping. So again, the one square is f8 we need to cover. Let us bring k, g8, check, then check. So here again, this position I've taken just to show waiting move, which is required. Typically, it is white to move, and then if you're not careful, it can result in the stalemate. So I just wanted to bring out this situation where you do not get into the stalemate position. Please pause a move and identify what is the stalemating move and what is the correct move. The stalemating move is bishop e6. Please observe the black king does not have any space and it is stalemated. So in such situations, what you need to remember is you can make a waiting move again. Let us try to move either of the bishop without affecting the situation. Let us say I can move this bishop, either this here, or I can move any of the diagonal. Both bishops, both can be a waiting moves. So let me make a waiting move. Now king is forced to move. He's in a zugzwang. So now he moves kg8. Now we'll start giving the checks. Then mate. So remember, you need to be aware of this waiting moves, and once you know the logic and once you know what move you want to make, and if the king is in a position where you cannot make that move, basically we need to think of waiting move. So please try to put this position on the board and try to give a checkmate. So if you are stuck and you are not able to give checkmate, please recap this video and try to get the logic. Okay, this is a random position. Let us try to use this position to again learn how to checkmate. So it is white to move. So what we'll do is first try to centralize the king. We check. Let us say moves here. Now we have brought both the bishops and king together. By now you must recognize this pattern where the king can only move backward. Now we start moving the bishops together. So we have reached the intended situation of pushing the king to the edge. Now he is forced to move here. So we'll start covering one square at a time. So this is one situation which you might face. So in this case, what you need to do is you use this move. So either he is forced to move to f8 or corner. So if he moves to f8, now let us cover this. Now it is easy. With this example, I've also showed a different scenario. So with this, if you are aware of all this scenario, you will be able to achieve the checkmate with two bishops very easily. So please practice these positions on the board and get familiar with the two bishop checkmate. So that's it for this video. Hi friends, thank you for watching the video. Bye for now and happy learning.